Harlan writes, is it possible that Star Wars Episode VIII could be a prequel like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? The Force Awakens has so many unanswered questions, or maybe Episode VIII will start with a huge flashback scene.
Well, I don't think there's any chance in hell that it'll be a prequel to it. It's that there's a reason why they're numbering it sequentially. This is Episode VIII. This is the next part. But what you said in the last part of that question there, that's possible. Remember, in the one Lord of the Rings film, I can't remember if it was The Two Towers or if it was Return of the King, the movie starts with a brief 5-6 minute flashback scene to the origins of Gollum. So just with like an opening scene that flashes back to Andy Serkis fishing with his little hobbit buddy, goes in the water, finds the ring, and then he becomes Smeagol. And so there is a possibility that Episode VIII could start with a 21-year-old Kylo Ren meeting, Snoke at the 7-Eleven and, offering to buy him beer illegally or something like that. And then they become buddies. I don't know. So there's possible that sort of thing could happen. But as far as it being a full-fledged prequel, like the events in Episode VIII happened before the events of Episode VII, I don't think there's a chance in hell in that.
Remember, kids, because having an older guy buy you beer at 7-Eleven is the start of the dark side. What a mind fudge it would be like to have this entire movie take place before The Force Awakens. I read that question and I was like, oh my God, I don't necessarily want to see it happen, but the onions it would take for a Lucasfilm and Disney to be like, yeah, we're not going to answer any of those questions yet. We're going to take you back a little ways and explain all this other stuff. I agree, a flashback could definitely be utilized. They played around with it with that Force flashback scene that Rey had in The Force Awakens. So there's a good chance that you could see something similar to that in Episode VIII.
What do you guys call it? The Jedi chronocron or whatever the
holocron.
Holocron.
The holocron.
Come on, Schnapp, get with it, man.
Hey, I know about comics, not all things Star Wars related. So the holocron. I mean, they still have those after the temples are blown up. Those don't exist anymore, right?
They're probably still around somewhere.
I'm just thinking,
relics.
the Star Wars universe. Nobody's walking around with iPhones or videotaping stuff, but they must have some way of capturing data. I wonder if they're going to have a sequence where they're watching an old home movies or something, like Leia's watching a scene with Han and their young kid. They could be watching. That's a way to show a flashback.
And this babysitter they hired once called Eddie Snoke, and they're like, that was a mistake.
I never trusted Snoke.
That was a mistake.
He's always weird. His white pastiness and the weird cut on his head. And he's always looming over our children. I never trusted him. Sometimes he's a giant 500-foot hologram for no reason. I wouldn't mind seeing a flashback.
There's been an awakening.
That's right.
Go back to bed.
There's been an awakening in my pants.
What? Oh, this just got dark.
Hey, man. It is the dark side. I don't want to see a flashback. Star Wars has never used flashbacks. They've done that weird, Force, Rey kind of vision. I'd like to see more of that kind of stuff. But once again, it's flashbacks aren't really in the Star Wars universe, but now I guess they're a force power, so who knows?
Hey guys, if you like this clip, click here to watch the entire episode. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because it'll help you stay up to date with all the stuff we've got going on here at Collider.